everybody. This is the Chaotically Outrageous Podcast. Oh, wait, I said it the wrong way already. Outrageously Chaotic Podcast. I am Nate Outrage. He is.
I am the Chaotic One, Nick.
And we have a special guest on the stream today, a good friend of ours, Queen J. She also has her own podcast as well. Thank you for coming, Miss Queen J.
Here for a round of applause.
Definitely excited to be on with y'all.
Yes, we're excited to have our very first guest.
Right, our very first guest on the show.
History in the
historically
making. Very first guest. Man, all right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Queen J. Us in the audience a little bit. For those who don't know.
Do some shameless plugging. It's okay. I do it all the time.
Right.
Well, of course, I go by Queen J. Of course, you can call me by my first name, Jaleesa. You can call me little bit. They used to call me that when I was working in the schoolhouse. That's something nobody really knew on social media, but yeah, because I guess I'm short. But very nice person, very cool person. I also do podcasts. Not too much to tell. You know, I'm a hard worker. Anything I want to do. I'm a wrestling fan, of course. And so social media already know who my favorite wrestler is. Undertaker.
Right.
You know, podcast is just something I love to do. You know, people think it's easy sometimes, but sometimes it gets a challenge sometimes because you want to keep your audience. But I can honestly say it's very fun. It's not too hard. Put your mind something you can do. So podcast is very fun. So but yeah, I'm excited to be on this show today.
And we're excited to have you.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much.
And y'all know they were on. They were on my show a while back, so I always try to, show support back to others.
Right. That's why I wanted to bring you on, since you were the first one that brought us on a podcast when we didn't even have a podcast at the time. So just kind of honor you, bring you day one. So
yeah.
But tell us how you got into wrestling. Like who got you into it wrestler wise? Like I know you say Undertaker, but was he like your first wrestler you seen that you liked, or?
Yes. You know what? I say, and I have tweeted this, and excuse me. I have tweeted this, but I also have to say JBL has had a part in that as well. Back in 2004, and I was at a friend's house, and she turned on wrestling. I didn't even know she liked wrestling, and I started watching. I said, "Oh, that's wrestling." I used to watch. I used to watch WCW back with my father, whatever. And I said, "Oh," I said, you watch wrestling." And so when I was looking, and it was back during, matter of fact, it was about SummerSlam time, I believe. And it was back in 2004, and I saw the Undertaker and JBL was in the ring in SmackDown. And all he said to JBL, he said, "You need SummerSlam." And I don't know what it was about that, but from that moment on, I said, you know what, I'm into this, and this is who for some reason, I liked Undertaker when I kept watching and kept watching. And so I of course, because back then it was the network. When the network came out, I went back and watched stuff before 2004. And I've been a loyal fan since I started watching 2004. I'm still loyal, even though he's retired. So, but yeah, he's the reason why I watch wrestling. Man has done it all, and there's no doubt in my mind that next year, he will be in the Hall of Fame, which I'm trying to get to that WrestleMania next year. So.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's long overdue for sure.
Yeah, it's no doubt he got to. And you know what? I hope that they actually need to bring his other theme song. I cannot lie. I have this on my playlist when I'm listening to music. They need to bring that the song say "Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down." I believe that's what he needs to come out as. I'm gonna tweet it every week till it happens.
Yeah, I'll retweet it with you.
It's the "Ain't No Grave" by Johnny Cash before he left us.
Right.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Because that symbolizes him, because he kept going. Even when people were saying, well, you need to stop. You're old. You're too old. And all this, that he still kept going till he felt like it was his time to stop. So that's, and he's like an inspiration to me. to me, that showed me, hey, you kept on going till you felt like it was just so I'm gonna keep on, going with stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
of course, of course.
Awesome. Glad to hear how you started and everything. I guess today we just kind of wanted to kind of pick your brain and our, just kind of talk about what you thought about Money in the Bank and kind of about the wins and losses and stuff and kind of the fallout with Raw and everything. So I guess on the first one we had the Raw Tag Team Championships on the kickoff show like we thought it would. Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus the Usos, and of course Usos won that.
7 times.
7 times. I'm actually okay with that. I don't know about y'all. I was kind of tired of the Mysterios having it anyway, just because they kept beating us over the head with the father and son tag team, first time ever for father son tag team champions, whatever. So I don't know. Just also they didn't need Roman's help either, so that was cool.
That's good. That was good.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think, Queen J?
Well, I had got this too wrong. I actually thought the Mysterios was gonna keep the championship, but the Usos got it. So you know what? I did tweet, and I did say maybe this will keep Jimmy on the right path. Now that he's a champion, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I did thought the Mysterios. I didn't think they were gonna let the Usos win, being the fact that one of them has because I'm personally I get Jimmy and Jay mixed up sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
But I think it's Jay. Correct me now. Which one? The one that got the feud? And if Kia listens, she gonna get on me about this because she done told me. But which one has the feud with Roman? I think it's Jay. I don't know.
Jay is the original right hand man, and then Jimmy is the one that just popped back and kind of just got in line again. So he's the one. He's kind of the one that was trying to stop stuff, but now he fell in line too.
Right. So yeah. So I just I thought the Mysterio was gonna win, but the Usos won. So hopefully we can see how long they'll keep it and what's gonna happen, who the next contenders is and stuff like that. But I liked the match. It was a great start to the show.
Right. It was really nice. And Nick, you have any final thoughts on it? That anything that stuck out to you in there? Oh wait, you probably didn't get to.
I didn't get to watch it because I don't have the Peacock channel, but that's okay. I heard that it was going down anyway.
Yeah.
But I know that I predicted that the Usos were gonna win.
Yes, you did. You called it.
Just because of all the different things. And then I also said, well, they may not win because of Jimmy's little dispute with the stuff. But they came through, and with the way the storyline was, I'm glad they actually still continued to go with their momentum, and they made them win. So it's going to be great to see what now that all three of them have championships, it's going to be great.
Right. And see how they take that bloodline power stuff with it. And, it's gonna be cool. I do think that match should have been on the main card anyway. But then again, I don't know, maybe because the Raw Tag Team Championships were already on the card, so they wanted to balance it out. I don't know, but that's just me. But,
and that could have been another, maybe he's getting punished in ways that,
we don't see.
Yeah, being put at the very beginning on the kickoff show versus that should have been on the card, the main card.
Right.
So that's another, reason why he's getting punished in those kind of ways.
Right.
Versus being thrown out and just hey, you're fired. Sorry.
Right. And you can't really fire somebody for being having certain problems and issues like that. So.
No, you can if it.
You can if it impacts your work and everything, which it hasn't. It has, but it hasn't to a point. You know what I mean?
He's a public figure.
Yeah, it's public. He's a public figure, and it's made news and everything, but it's never impacted his in-ring work or his promos or anything like that. Just back in the day, we all know Ray and them did all these crazy things. Ric Flair did a whole bunch of these crazy things, and all these other people did almost killing folks, but there was no news.
When you name Ric Flair, Like Ric Flair was a high dollar, way up here man that was doing all that stuff, so they couldn't get rid of their moneymaker.
Right.
Granted, the Usos have this feud with, you know, the Mysterios, but they also had Roman as they're part of the Roman storyline, which is their highest moneymaker. So they've got to protect those assets versus just, because if it was just them by themselves and they were doing nothing, he probably would have been let go.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I guess after that, I think it started off with the women's Money in the Bank. If I'm wrong, correct me there.
No, you said that it started because you texted me. Oh, you knew it. You knew it.
That's right. Yeah, because you called it. Yeah, that's right. You called that as well. That was going to start off the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be the first match. I didn't think it was going to be like the very first match, I guess.
Right.
Or I don't know. That's going to be the first match. I forget the kickoff show. Because
I do too a lot of
times.
It
all blends in.
Especially on the Peacock channel, it doesn't differentiate. It adds on to the show. So like you know how it's the kickoff show for like 45 minutes and it gets into the show. Like it'll do like the kick, like it'll add that on to the regular show. So it's not actual the start time. But anyway, it was the women's Money in the Bank match. It was a great way to start off the show. One of the better matches of the night, in my opinion. With Nikki Ash winning surprisingly, which I think you also called that too, that she might win.
Sort of like it was between her, Sasha, and
well, Sasha wasn't even in the match.
Was it? No. Oh, who was in the match?
It was Nikki Ash. We had who else did we have in there? We had
wasn't it Carmella?
Yeah, no, Carmella got the championship match last Saturday.
That's right.
Oh yeah, we had Zelina Vega.
Zelina,
Asuka.
That's who I was thinking of. I get Zelina, and not that I should get them confused, but because they're both kind of similar in look, I said Sasha Banks instead of Zelina. That's who I said I thought was gonna win. Zelina,
gotcha.
She came back and. Ooh, you know that big old giant pop that they gave her.
Yeah, I did too, because they they don't usually give Money in the Bank briefcases to good guys too much, because it doesn't really fit the good guy kind of. I don't know. It just kind of got that stigma that it's like a bad guy type of thing to get it. Because a lot of times the good guys that get it never actually win. They like barely win when they cash it in. It's like the first good guy to actually get the Money in the Bank was John. Well, no, not really, but John Cena, and then he cashed in and did not get it. So
he was the first loser.
Yeah, the first loser. Yeah, first loser of it. So I just think it was interesting for sure for Nikki to win. I didn't see it coming, so that was cool. I like that interesting part of it. I found it interesting that both tag champs were in the match.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were going to put both of them in there, because that's basically two people working against like six or the rest of them. So like that, I found that interesting. But Queen J, what do you think about the match in your opinion, and the winners and stuff?
Okay, we talking about the women's match.
Yeah, the Money in the Bank.
It's the women's Money in the Bank.
You know what? I had 3 picks for this. My first pick was, of course, Liv Morgan. My second pick was Naomi. Yeah, my second pick was Naomi. But I was the few people that actually chose Nikki Cross too. I really honestly not think Nikki was going to get it. But you know what? And I said this Sunday night, I'm going to say it again. When everybody was up on them ladders fighting, I feel like in my mind, Nikki said, you know what? Hey, y'all go ahead and fight. I'm just going to grab this championship. This briefcase. That's what I just feel like she was saying in her mind. So I thought that was a very smart strategy. Not too sure why people don't really like the whole superhero thing, but I thought that was a very smart strategy what she did. She didn't try to fight. She just said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get this briefcase. So, and I was very, I don't know, I know we're not talking about Raw yet, but I was very, didn't really want her to cash in yet. I was kind of like wanting her to hold it, but they have a good title reign. We never know how this will go.
Right, you're right about that one. I definitely thought she was going to hold on to it for a good, like at least month or two before she cashed it in. But like you said, she cashed in like almost same night, just the same. Like I think it wasn't even 24 hours. It was like in a span of half a day almost. So. So
Yeah.
that was interesting as well, because as we remember, well, I don't know if you saw it, Nick, but like any highlights, but Rhea.
I saw when she like didn't she hurt her knee or whatever, or like
Yeah.
she slapped her knee, or was that at Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I think it was at Raw. I can't remember exactly, but
I
Rhea.
remember seeing Rhea slapping her knee like,
Yeah.
my knee.
Oh, that was at the pay-per-view. Yeah, that was at the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
But on Raw, well, I guess we'll talk about that part later when we get to the match. But
We can spoil it.
That's
It's okay.
spoilers. Yeah, this is a reaction video, so yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah,
Just
so
do all of it. We could talk about it all.
yeah, but yeah, the fact that I think they had a rematch on Raw, and afterward, well, because Charlotte did that disqualification doo-doo, so so Rhea got mad and beat her up, and after she got beat up, old girl Nikki ran up in there and cashed in and did basically a crossbody off the rope and
Yeah, I
pinned
saw
her.
that crossbody. she which is kind of a weird way to win, I guess, because it's just a crossbody.
Yeah, but I mean, like, does she have a specific finisher? I don't think she does.
Not the superhero one that I can think of. I don't even
Right.
think she had a thing. I think she was just part of the Sanity, and then went to like being friends with Alexa, and then disbanding with Alexa, coming back with Alexa, disbanding, superhero, bam.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't remember because I thought there was a face buster, but I think that's somebody else.
Could be anything. I don't remember. It's okay. But I just know with her superhero-ness, like I like it because it's way off from what she was originally like, crazy, like just killer girl to
Right.
like, hey, Miss Maudie Molly. Bring
Yeah.
back the Molly Holly type vibe.
That's another thing I found interesting that they brought that kind of character back, and especially with a character like her that originally she was like a harebrained, like crazy, zany animal like Banshee, and like next thing you know, she turns into a regular woman with Alexa. Like I hate to say sidekick, but that's kind of the way they painted her at the time. Like kind of very timid, kind of learning the ropes type of thing. Kind of new to the whole backstage room and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff. And so it's interesting to see how far she's come.
Yeah,
and
and
see where
especially
she'll
to
go.
win the championship the next night on Raw.
Mhm.
And to me, like, it was great. Like when I saw the previews, because again, with my schedule, I'm either closing or like I'll lose track of the time and be like, oh crap, it's already like it's 10 o'clock.
Right.
Where'd the time go? Because I'm used to like either closing or like whatever. So
Yeah.
like when I saw the highlights, not very much highlights. I didn't get to see too many highlights.
Right.
But the highlights that I did see on like social medias and stuff,
Mhm.
watching her like throw the briefcase and be like, all right, and she gets up on the rope and just waiting there, and she's like, come on,
Yeah.
and then just wham, just does the crossbody and wins. It's like, hey,
Right.
because if you saw in she at the Money in the Bank, I did see like she looked like she was ready to cry, like really cry, like
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
she like was all cheering and stuff, and like she went from like to like she's trying to keep it in because
Right.
she was so excited.
I probably would too, to be honest.
I mean, shoot, I think everybody does.
Right? The first time getting a Money in the Bank or just any kind of achievement in front of a brand new crowd, nonetheless. So it's just like.
And it was in
Ugh.
that was SmackDown. That was in Houston. I was like, oh yeah, they were in Houston, but that was
They were,
SmackDown.
they were in Dallas, I believe, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so, something like that. They were somewhere in Texas.
But yeah, altogether it was pretty good. Pretty good match. Again, great way to start off the show.
Yeah.
It was a lot of times it's hard to follow the women these days because they're putting like all of their effort into these matches. So it's just like a lot of times the men can't follow when it comes to that. But this time it was actually pretty decent. We had the Raw Tag Team Championship match after that with Almost and AJ versus the Viking Raiders. Which of course AJ and Almost won, as we all thought they would, rather. But it was again good match, Ivar and Eric threw their stuff in there and tried to get in their best hits, but Almost the Giant just walked all over him pretty much. Now
it's kind of weird because the fact that you got Almost, he's tall, but he's not like Ivar, who's big.
Yeah, right.
So you got a big guy versus a tall guy. I mean, granted, both of them are great, but like both are heavy hitters.
Right.
Right.
And let me see. I like how almost I think we said that already a lot of times that he runs like a damn train engine. Like he's lean, but he's thick at the same time. He's lean thick, if that makes sense. Like he's got all that muscle, but you just almost don't see it. Kind of like Great Khali or something like that. He's more tall, but he has all those muscle in there. So I like how he can move really fast, and like how he already has a standing presence. So it's just like he can stand there and look intimidating, and nobody can mess with him. Like
I'm gonna take a brief moment to step away real quick because I'm cooking dinner. So
I will be right lasagna.
Back. I will be right back.
Oh, no problem. But Queen J, a quick question for you on that match. Is there anything that kind of stuck out to you in that match that for Almost and AJ, or?
No, you know what? A lot of people, including myself, really didn't care about that match. So, but we really didn't care about that match. It was. You know what? I felt like AJ and Almost, they should actually been on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And the Mysterios and the Usos should have been in that. And I think that match was like third or fourth, whatever position it was.
Yeah.
This should have been on the pre-show.
Right, I agree with you there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have switched. They should have switched that.
Let me take a commercial break. I was cooking anyway.
Right.
I was like, let me take a commercial break. Let me go check my parts because I know this is a match I really don't care about. So.
Right. I think most of the time, a lot of times in that situation, they're mostly there for Omos. So once they see him and they see his little maneuvers, then they'll walk out.
Right.
So, but yeah, it was pretty decent. Like you said, a lot of people didn't really care about it because a lot of times you already know what's going to happen. So you just kind of like kind of out of doing your own thing, like you were, cooking and stuff like that. And just didn't really have the thought of like, oh, who can actually win this? Like we all knew pretty much that AJ and Almost was going to win that match. I don't think any of us thought that the Viking Raiders were going to win. So that's another thing too. I think it's more enjoyable for us to get hyped about it if we don't know what's going to happen. Like we were really looking forward to Roman and Edge, even though for me I was pretty sure that Roman was going to win. But in that kind of thing, there's more pull rather than this tag team match or tag team title match, which there should be, but they don't really build it up like that. So, but let's see. Oh, perfect timing. You came back. Oh, let me get he has to get his headset on.
Right.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. We were just wrapping up our thoughts
to
on.
talk about the Almost because I was listening because again, I watch as well, so I was listening and trying to keep on task. But anyway, so you continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. We like you already heard. We were just wrapping up our thoughts on AJ and Almost match. After that, I believe we had the men's Money in the Bank. After that, I can't remember for sure, But all of them in there, we had Drew, Kevin, Riddle, Kevin Owens, I'm sorry, Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison, Big E, who won, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. Which also is a great time, great match for me. I don't know about you guys. I know Nick, you didn't watch it, but like
Sorry,
highlights. I mean,
to watch it.
no, you're fine,
But-
man. You're fine. Queen J, what do you think of the whole Money in the Bank match? The men's one anyway.
Well, you know what? This was actually another great match. The person who I chose to win actually did win.
Mm-hmm.
My two picks were also besides Big E. I think I had chose Nakamura and I picked Seth Rollins, but definitely excited to see Big E. I think I've been saying for a long time, even on one of my other shows, that this Big E needs this moment. I mean, New Day is not together. They still New Day, but they're not on the same shows.
Right.
So, time. But see, I'm so different. I want Big E to go heel. Like,
Yes, I've said that.
Yeah, you have. You said that a lot of times.
you know what? I'm definitely gonna say Mr. Keith. I'm gonna say, see, I'm not the only one to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mr. Listen, I said he needs to go heel because, like I said, New Day. To me, it's no point in still calling them New Day and they're not on the same show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been saying for the longest that New Day needs to have a breakup like how Evolution did. You know, when after what's his name? Okay, Randy was out of Evolution first.
Yeah.
But then, something like that.
But Easter turned on them after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what I've been, I just been throwing it out there. I feel like they need to have that type of breakup. But yes, thank you. Somebody agrees with me that Big E should be heel.
Yep.
I could definitely see how he could go heel, especially now since he doesn't have to turn on his partners. So he
Right.
can just like get more, not get more serious, because he's been getting serious for this past like whole year. So he's been really good. I just hate how like when his credibility was hurt when he lost to Apollo at WrestleMania like that. Like the way he got beat by help. Like I know that's how things will go when you have a big guy like that to help somebody. But Big E was just getting rolling, and I mean like there's a reason why everyone loves Big E, because he's like one of the top stars they got right now. So like, I'm glad they're finally pulling the trigger on him.
I say they need to bring back the Gimme 5.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like the NXT version of Big E.
5 count.
Yeah. Because that was like just watching those old stuff. Because I did kind of watch NXT with my brother whenever we had the WWE Network back in the Big E era of NXT, and so I would see like, man, this guy is going places with this character and all that stuff.
Right. And they brought him, they brought him up as Dolph's Muscle Man or whatever, and that took off.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, he was more a silent, big, like just.
Very
bouncer.
silent. No personality at that point.
I think they need to bring back, like, mix in the New Day-ish stuff, but more heel. Like, I'm all for the heel.
Right. You're a heel guy, I think.
I am a heel guy.
And we did talk about that match earlier, but I want to mention this too, since the Usos. And I heard that Naomi is back on SmackDown. I also said, she needs to go heel too. Like I could see, I could see Vince putting everything that happened into a storyline, and she just being so angry, about because I don't know, she closed her Twitter page,
Right.
So I feel like, this really should be like what they put bloodline. Like, go ahead and Naomi, and maybe like put her and Nia Jax together. If y'all ain't want to give her the women's championship from Bianca, give her the women's tag championship, whatever. Have the whole family, taking over SmackDown. It'd be like a NWO thing when Vince said, I'm gonna kill this what I brought. I'm gonna kill my something or whatever we talking about because of him and Ric Flair 50s. So
Yeah.
I just be fucking my random. So yeah.
No, that's fine. I actually remember that moment too when I was a kid. That was kind of my hot moment when I was a kid getting into wrestling. That's actually when I got into it. So I remember that when he was sitting in his chair talking about, I won't let him kill my creation. All that stuff, looking like he's gonna have a heart attack. I said, alrighty. But I was actually very surprised that Big E won. Not because they couldn't, but because I didn't think they would give it to him. Are you surprised, Queen J and Nick, that Big E actually won the Money in the Bank?
Yes, I was surprised.
No. I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, well I'll tell you why for me. I was surprised because they had Seth and Drew in there, and I was like, okay, they're about to continue to either push Seth with the whole championship stuff, or they're about to continue to push Drew McIntyre with the whole storyline that he was with in the championship. And I was like, all right. And then, but I would have loved to see anybody else, and I'm glad that Big E won because, anybody, I would have, as long as it wasn't Drew or Seth, I was fine.
Right.
Hell, even Shinsuke, but I knew Shinsuke wasn't going to do it because, he just had that feud with Baron Corbin with the whole King stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like,
King Shay.
They're not going to do the King Shinsuke, and then, what out? They weren't going to give him the Money in the Bank plus the King crown and blah, blah, blah. So he had his moment of fame with the crown. So that left only Kevin Owens, Big E, which... Kevin Owens would have been a good contender too. Again, he's not really doing too much.
Right.
So it's like
he's like a third. He was the third choice for me, I think, in that situation. I didn't think Drew would get it because he just had that stipulation that he can't have have a championship match with Bobby Lashley. So I felt like something was going to happen, which it did, with Jinder entering with his two muscle men. And took him out the area, and so that neutralized him, and then Seth was neutralized in his own thing too. So,
because I didn't see that, then I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Seth didn't get interfered with to lose or anything like that. It's just he got hit by a ladder or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I thought that was a good time in there, and I think after that we had the Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Raw Women's Championship match. I just said championship twice.
Championship match.
Yeah, it was a decent match. Well, not decent. It was good. I hate to say decent because decent is not
Charlotte is a good athlete. I'm not going to give her discredit on her athleticism, but man, 14 times. Okay, how many are we going to give her? So is this once Ash won, now it's was it going to be a triple threat match, and then Charlotte wins again and becomes the 15 time, and then the 16 time, and then I surpassed my father. Haha, I'm better than everything.
Right. So as we've seen, as you probably know by now, Charlotte had won that match, and and my thoughts on it is it was probably to protect Rhea from getting cashed in on Monday night if she were to win. So I don't know for sure. That's just my thoughts on it.
But I'm gonna disagree on that, but I think it's just because Charlotte.
Charlotte.
I mean, she's already made a comment about how people are hating on her for winning and stuff and being the main event or whatever, and being champ again, and it's because hey, you're just because I was champ one time doesn't mean I don't want to be another time. It's just it for me, like I said in our other podcast, is just it's either Sasha, Charlotte, Becky
Bayley.
Was up there for a little bit, and Bayley, basically the four horsewomen. And I was just we need better stars. We need more stars. We can't just continue to rely on the same people.
Right.
But that's how Vince is. If it makes him money, he's gonna shoot them straight to the top until that money goes.
Until it
And
peaks, basically.
Yeah. And once it drops, it's like, okay, we need a new champion. And then
Right.
shoot them to the top, and then they just keep fighting and fighting and fighting.
Right.
And it gets old.
Right, that's so true. And Queen J, what do you think about the match itself? Before Raw, of course. Raw, whenever Nikki cashed in on Charlotte. So.
You know, this is another match that I did not get right, and I really did not agree with it. Charlotte doesn't need another championship. She didn't need another championship.
I agree.
Same.
She's
I agree.
Time. I feel like they are trying to get her as much as like Rick. I'm not surprised they keep giving her a championship because of who her father is. But I thought that Rhea was a good dominant champion. I saw someone that was a real big Rhea fan say that maybe she wasn't prepared for it, but I feel like she was handling her own. So, but I definitely I feel like Rhea was gonna keep it long, but I definitely didn't agree with Charlotte getting it. But I also don't agree with Nikki cashing in so soon. So when I saw all that, and I said, you know, it's not gonna be long before maybe Becky comes back, or might even see Rousey. You never know, but I do agree with what Nick said. You know, it's the same women, you know, and they're not giving other people opportunities. So, and I guess that's where it comes in. It felt like, to me, it was kind of rushed. I would have rather see Nikki versus Rhea than, you know, Nikki just cashing in to Charlotte. So, but the match is good. That, you know what, Charlotte and Rhea, to me, was the match tonight. I give WWE their props, because normally I don't even be into the pay-per-views like I used to, and I'm usually by a certain time, but they really had me up, and that was a match I was like shocked and in awe. I was kind of like the man that was on the front seat when Brock beat Undertaker's streak. Even though I really don't like that moment, and Michael Cole just had to bring up the moment between Roman and Undertaker, but yeah, it was good. It was good match.
And like, I mean, I think with Nikki cashing in so early, I figured with her new character, she could have played it like, hey, look, I've got the thing, you know, I've got the Money in the Bank opportunity.
Right,
and
that's what I was
thinking. Instead they shat on it, and it was just like, hey, cash in, okay, she won, hey, congratulations. I'm not giving her, you know, like, congratulations, like, for real, she deserves it. But man, they did it too fast.
Right. And like, we didn't get a chance to enjoy her having the briefcase. I know they did that with Dean Ambrose before, and a couple other folks. They've done it the same night, but they had more of an image on it. Like Edge, when he cashed in that on the same night when he won, or not the same night, I'm sorry, at WrestleMania, but then cashed in New Year's Revolution all the way almost to the last day of having it. And then so it just depends on how, I guess, the image of the person is too, because it literally just happened that, I mean, like, it got like publicity, but like it didn't like feel as big as it used to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, not like CM Punk or Edge or. I mean, when John Cena won it, everyone's like, "Ah, that sucks."
Right, but then he cashed in and lost.
When he lost, yeah, I was just like, yeah, the first. But at the same time, I was like, wait, that's the first person to lose. Oh man.
Right. But at least it was John Cena instead of like a person that was coming up. So.
Yeah. Or they've given the Otis treatment, and here, why don't you just have it?
Oh
instead?
God.
Like, man, like, don't give up the Money in the Bank. If you wanted that person to be the Money in the Bank winner, and you gave it to somebody else, and then the next night or however long they're feuding, it ends up saying, here, you won, you get the Money in the Bank. All right. Like, no. Just make them the Money in the Bank person to begin with.
Right.
And then, you know, go from there.
Yep.
But
I
don't know. some of the stuff they do with certain matches and stipulations and all this other stuff just never made sense as to why he thought, okay, that's good shit.
Right.
But I mean, that's Vince. He thinks everything's good.
Everything he does is good, basically.
Yeah, everything he thinks of is the best. And don't interrupt him unless he's had his steak.
Yeah.
From what I was told. From what the wrestlers say. Don't interrupt him when he hasn't had his steak.
Right.
But let's see. Did we have any, final thoughts on Rhea and Charlotte match and the situation there? Like,
was it the Money in the Bank match or the? No, yeah, it was. She had a really good bridge. I kept seeing people talk about how she bridged that time, like just for that moment, like all the times that she's ever bridged. Apparently, that one, like people were like, "That's a damn good bridge." Like,
I mean, she's always had a great bridge anyway, but like, as wrestlers ourselves, like we appreciate a good bridge. So
yeah, and like when she like lifts up and she like completely extends her body up in the bridge, it's just like. Beautiful.
Perfection.
Yeah, because it adds on to the, like, granted the figure four, I mean, it does hurt. If you've ever been put in it, it does hurt. But when you add on to that, when you add that elevation, it I'm sure it probably hurts worse. Or it just looks good, one or the other.
It's more looks, like, especially in that situation. But I think all right. So after that, we had I think we had the Bobby and Kofi next. After that, which unfortunately went. Kofi had no offense in the match whatsoever.
He got the Brock Lesnar treatment again.
Well, but this time they stretched it out. Instead of doing it in 8 seconds, they did it. They did it in like.
So they dragged the beating on.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kofi didn't really get to show his abilities, just like in that Brock match. He just got destroyed, and they did hammer that point home that he is a former WWE champion, so it's a crazy win for him. But they didn't like. Oh man, that hurt me. That hurt me.
They build up Kofi just to break him down. Everything he's ever done, they built him up just to break him down. Randy Orton match brought him up, and then stupid. They broke him down with that whole incident where he was being called stupid for messing up one little thing that probably was Randy's fault. And then Brock and just everything. Like, I don't know. I wish they would take more consideration of the smaller guys like Ricochet, Kofi, and just elevate them better, because they do have the talent and the skills to be a good champion. But instead, they take guys like Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and just like, I love big men.
Meat. But Queen J, what was your thoughts mostly on Bobby Lashley and Kofi that night?
Well, that match, it was just, it was kind of remind me of Ricochet and Brock Lesnar. Right. A match that I just felt like was gonna last long. Now Kofi has the potential. I'm not even gonna say a lie. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he take the championship from Bobby? Not Bobby Lashley. I think he took the championship from Brock Lesnar one time, I think.
No, he took it from Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, okay, yeah. Well, he has potential. I just, this is the almighty Bobby Lashley. And I think they're trying to get the reign as long as Roman. It's just going to have to take that right person. Somebody we're not going to expect. Like this whole, John Cena about the right Roman thing. Yep. He could be the one to do it, but then I have to go back to something that Bubba Ray said on Sirius XM. He said, I don't think that Roman's going to lose the next year at WrestleMania, so they could be doing Bobby the same way. The only way I see Bobby losing is if MVP turn on him, and that's a big possibility too.
Right.
After they
Oh
saw,
yeah.
I don't always get to watch Raw because honestly, I didn't get to watch everything from Raw this week. But when I saw the highlights of them showing how Bobby was talking to MVP, I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be long before MVP possibly turn on Bobby. So
Yeah.
Well, they had a pretty decent, what's the word, like attitude on Monday afterward because Bobby did win, so that's obviously something. But MVP basically said he's right. I did make him soft, so I did. That was my bad. I do apologize. He basically took accountability for that, and they move forward from there. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But like you said, MVP may start to get like jealousy or anything like that because I don't know. I'm not too sure.
I wouldn't call it jealousy. I think the way that like they've had some heated arguments or whatever where Bobby's talking to him like it's your fault. I mean, I'm just out there managing you, man. You're the one that lost.
You're right.
Like it's not jealousy. It's more of a hey, I'm trying to teach you, and you're not following it. You're doing your own thing. That's your own fault.
Right.
And then Goldberg coming back, like.
Oh yeah, Goldberg, bro.
Goldberg came back on Raw to challenge Bobby. I guess that's the only reason why he came out.
Yeah, that's what he did. He just challenged Bobby. It's like I'm next. Or he said I'm next. Yeah. He said I'm next.
Wait. So Goldberg came back for real.
Yes, that was a real thing.
Oh yeah, came back in the ring and Challenge basically said I'm next. So he's getting basically the SummerSlam match against Bobby. So let's.
Ooh, I think. Go ahead, Queen Jay. You give your thoughts.
I'm gonna say this again, like I said the other night. There is no reason for Bob. I mean, Goldberg had terrible matches last 2 times. One of them, and I hate to say the match with Undertaker was terrible. I think, the match Undertaker he had was terrible, and I hate to say it because Undertaker my favorite wrestler, but it was terrible. Like, and it was, I think he had a match after that. Like, what's the purpose? Vince have all these. I just want to give him some time. He has all these superstars that he could be building up. But he'd rather bring Goldberg. They just need to go right. Home and drink.
Right. Go bring back old WCW back and go win that gold and be undefeated again.
Yeah.
Like I mean, for me, I would hope because they need the third match. Is it a rubber match? Right. That's what that's called. A rubber match is a third match? Okay, well, I think that for SummerSlam, Goldberg versus Bobby, Brock interferes and beats up Goldberg.
Yeah.
And then Bobby still retains his title and looks, oh, yeah, I won.
Right.
So he keeps the title for him versus MVP.
Right.
Which would bring back, because Brock won the very first one at WrestleMania 20, or was it 22?
I think it was 20. Yeah, 21.
21, yeah.
Not 20, sorry.
And, or whatever, it is WrestleMania.
20. And, WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, and then Goldberg won their last match. So, Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg one final time. That's it. That's all. Just because of the fact that Goldberg is coming back to challenge the title, Brock needs to come back just to be like, nah, fuck you. If you're going to challenge for the title, I want the title.
Right.
And then they both fight and do their thing, and yeah. But,
okay.
I mean, who knows, I'm not a booker. I'm just a fan.
Yeah, right. I'm a booker, man.
Right.
But, I guess, and after that, I suppose we had the main event of the night: Roman Reigns versus Edge. I guess starting off with thoughts on it. I mean, it was just, again a great match. Roman, of course, doing his thing, dominance, big power moves. Edge stuck in there like the veteran he is, got moves in there here and there, like you said.
He's building him up.
Yeah.
Obviously,
of course.
It's basically the typical legend comes back to build up the new guy,
like it should always be. So.
Oh yeah, except for whenever it's Brock and Goldberg. But anyway,
like we said, should be. It should be that way.
Should be.
Doesn't mean it's always going to be that way.
No, but yeah, I mean Edge. Like the fact that Edge came back is with his injury, especially with his injury, and is able to like appear every so often is great, because it's like it gives guys like Daniel Bryan, who came back, it showed Edge like, hey, if he can do it with the similar to just about the same, if not a little bit different or worse or whatever, I can do it. And same with Christian. Like Christian, granted he's in AEW, but he's still wrestling. That's all that matters. Like these guys, and Sting too, taking that huge bump from Seth, and like basically that was the end of his career in WWE, which kind of sucked. But now he's doing more things, and again, it just like Edge. I mean, he's done it all. I mean, what even if he does win a title again, which would be great. He's already done it all, man.
He really
he's
has
done it all. So. He's a living legend.
Right. And I feel like he is another, I hate to call him another Bret Hart type of guy, but he's kind of like our generation's Bret Hart, as in like he wasn't like the best like physically looking dude or whatever, but he was always there. He was always very consistent with his energy. He was always there, put every ounce of being into his wrestling.
And his character too. His character was great. The
phenomenal.
Rated R superstar, from the Brood, he just being a silent person, to the Edge and Christian poses.
Right.
Like 5 seconds of
5 seconds of pose. I forgot what it was called.
5 second pose.
I almost called it 5 seconds of doom.
5 seconds of doom. It's 5 second pose, 5 second pictures.
Right. For those with benefit of fresh photography.
Pose here, pose there. But no, with that, like him building up Roman is great. Like it's going great, because they need people that like Edge to build up Roman with his character as this dominant, tribal chief man. Granted, I don't want to like say, but speculations are that The Rock is supposed to like come and be like, oh, I don't know if he's going to challenge or not, but I mean, supposedly The Rock is supposed to come back and like, I guess, have a little confrontation with Roman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just all hearsay. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
But the match itself was a good match.
Very good.
Things that I've seen and heard.
Oh yeah, it was very good. Very solid, main event type WWE main event match. It was like WWE main event matches have its own kind of feel to it. So it's just like it's not going to be like the best technical match. It's not going to be the best like this match, but it's going to be like the biggest hyped match of the night and of
it was
like
a good
the month.
Storytelling match.
So yeah, exactly. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, it's a great storytelling match. And Queen J, I would like to. I don't know if we heard your thoughts on this much, but I'd like to hear your thoughts about the match and see if you agree with Roman winning in the way that he did and all that stuff.
Excuse me. Yeah.
No,
So I actually got this one right, of course. Because as a lot of people say, we don't see Roman losing no time soon. I just didn't like the way how Seth was being a little kid and interrupting the match. We definitely could see the Edge was almost champion. I mean, I just didn't think that I knew Roman was going to win, but to me, I know sometimes people are going to interfere in matches and stuff, but this match was too good for it to get messed up. I mean, Edge's problems. He's about 47 and he's still pushing.
Which is
I
crazy.
think. Huh?
I said, which is crazy that he's that old.
And coming back from that injury too, that basically made him retire.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and see, he had 2 injuries, so he's back. He's what I'm saying, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm be real. At first, I didn't agree with Edge. Okay, Edge back in taking them time and attitude era. I say got
in his prime.
Right. But I think he still have a little bit more in him. So, it's interesting to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Randy. Well, no, never mind. They already had a few.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was about to say. There's somebody that I haven't seen on Money in the Bank. What's going on with Randy Orton?
You know what? That's something they haven't even mentioned yet. It's like he went off into the sunset or something like that, just disappeared for a minute, because I remember when he lost that match to get in the Money in the Bank, Matt Riddle had caused that, so he wanted to make it back up to him and get in and try to get him in there. Of course, he failed. But Riddle has been trying to act almost exactly like Randy the entire time, all this time, and he's been doing the RKO and blah blah blah. And I don't know if they're trying to build up the fact that Randy's finally gonna beat his ass, because he's just been testing. He's been testing this man's patience for like the past almost full month, and it's hilarious.
And snakes only strike when the best opportunity presents itself.
So. We don't know for sure. Hopefully he pops up next week or it's coming soon. I don't know if he's hurt or something like that. I don't know if there's something going on or what.
I haven't read anything.
There was no mention or anything. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if Randy will finally snap and bust his ass, because he's just been playing too much.
That, and then like we said with Edge and Seth Rollins interfering a little bit, that's going to be a good match. If they actually let Edge do stuff like
with Seth,
with Seth, and like that's going to be a good match.
Storyline wise too, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, they already they keep setting it up, and it's just oh man, I can't wait to see what happens. Because if Edge is able to actually perform at a decent peak without hurting himself, because with the injury and all, and you gotta somewhat be careful.
Right. And then Seth has such a breakneck pace, so you gotta really.
If he does the curb stomp to end his career, because obviously you can definitely set that in the storyline of, hey, I'm gonna end your career with my curb stomp.
Right.
I'm gonna finally end your career, not just end your career. I'm gonna finish your career with my curb stomp. But Randy Orton, man, when he goes I don't know, or maybe Randy could, I don't know. Rated RKO was a really great tag team, and I know they had their little thing, but what if they brought it back, for real, not just that little, oh man, Edge is back, and then here comes Randy Orton, and then they kind of do a little bit of this, but no, a legit.
Tag return.
RKO, or rated RKO tag return.
That would be interesting. Do you think they could do that after all that's happened?
That'd be awesome. I'd like to see that.
Right.
I mean, they could do it if, even though, yes, everything that happened with the whole, whatever, where they ended up in the boiler
room brawl.
They could bring it back, just because it's WWE and they can do whatever they want. So there's many ways to bring back that old relationship, and that would be great. Because then if they actually legit go for the tag team gold and get to hold it another for the final time, and then because granted, again, like I said, Edge has done so much. Even Randy Orton has done. Both of them have done basically it all.
Literally.
What else is there to do? Randy Orton needs to win, I think, the Money in the Bank.
And he's won that already.
Okay. What about a Royal Rumble? I don't know if he's won that too. Okay,
Twice,
so
yeah.
Randy,
Twice.
both of them have won the Royal Rumble. Both of them have won Money in the Banks.
Multiple singles
Yeah,
championships.
multiple singles, tags, you name it. They've won countless of belts. But to do almost like how rock musicians do like their farewell tour and they're like their final one last tour before they can hey, we're too old, guys.
Yeah, it's time to knock it off.
Their final farewell tour, rated RKO. And then feuding for the championship, just Edge needs his final goodbye before it's time to hang up his boots for sure.
Right.
Same with Randy too, but Randy is, the way his pace is, that's why he's been able to do it forever, is because his pace is so methodically slow and
it's to a T. He's perfected that style. And some people will think it's boring because it's so methodical and spot orientated, as in body picking parts and stuff like that, or picking up body parts and things like that, picking them apart and just
here goes Randy Orton. He's gonna do his stomp around the body,
and then DDT.
Yeah, every time he sets it up, he just looks around all right, you know what time it is. Bam.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with it either. It's we all know what's coming, and it always looks devastating. So, it's
depending on who takes it though, because some people he'll land and their head is way up.
Oh yeah.
On his chest, and it's just oh, man, you idiot! Why didn't you just just smack your head, man? Come on. Not hard. I mean, just give it a little headbutt here. But instead, they just kind of, oh no. But again, it just depends on who he faces. Because some guys can sell like crazy, and others just kind of, oh no, I don't want to hurt myself. Yeah.
But let me see.
With Roman, did anybody interfere? Besides Seth Rollins? No.
No.
Seth interfered a little bit.
Yeah, the Usos didn't get involved. Paul didn't either. They didn't show up at ringside either. I don't think.
Well, actually, yeah. The Usos came out.
Okay.
And then the Mysterios came and attacked them. So
that's right. Yeah. Thank you. I forgot about that.
Okay, so it was a more interference based.
Yeah, but they didn't
not necessarily win, but more orient.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. Basically, they didn't get a chance to interfere basically because the Mysterios hit them off literally right before they got to the ring.
So it wasn't interference. It was what are you doing over here, huh? What's up? All right, come on, I'm ready.
What had happened was they were both jumping into the ring. And right, because the Mysterios were running right behind them, so right when they were about to slide, they grabbed them. But yeah, thank you, Queen. Thank you so much for reminding me because I totally forgot about that. And that's the whole, that's how the match ended.
I tell you, I was up and I saw that. So
okay, so it was won by somewhat of a distraction.
Distraction, and because Seth came in last second and because he blames Edge for the loss at the Money in the Bank for some weird reason, because of all the attention being on Edge. I don't know, but because he's megalomaniac, so who knows what he's supposed to be character wise anyway. So yeah. So we're going to see where that goes.
I think when those came out, I think they were actually. We're trying to do interference, though.
Yeah, they were trying to.
No, we're not having that. Then
right, denied.
That's when it came out. So,
okay.
So of course, I'm ready to see SmackDown Friday because I'm definitely ready to. I know Edge is gonna have some words for Seth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, SummerSlam is gonna be Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. I'm trying to remember. So So y'all didn't get to see Raw or anything to kind of
Not me.
assess the not the washover, but like the aftermath and everything like that.
No,
No,
I didn't get to.
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay,
I didn't.
no
Even,
problem.
I
No,
was supposed to, but
oh, no problem. The main thing that happened, well, for me anyway, was Keith Lee returned
Oh yeah.
to do it because it was a surprise open challenge from Brock. I mean, not Brock. I'm sorry, Bobby. Sorry, Bobby Lashley, and Keith Lee was the one to answer the challenge, and it was a non-championship match, so stuff like
Of
that.
course.
But it was a great, yeah, for me as a Keith Lee fan, he's like my favorite wrestler right now. So the fact that he came back and it's been way too long, for one, and for
Right.
two, it's just this is going to be good for the Raw roster because they need another big guy like that to kind of like feel like an extra threat because they lost Braun already and they lost a couple other big dudes that they had like really good credibility on. So now they have Keith Lee and he can like be a foil for Omos later on, or other folks like that, because he has that big stature and things. So
True.
now I don't know if he's going to go straight for the title because he just came back. I don't think I would want that. I would rather want him to get some momentum behind him and then kind of go from there. But that's just me.
Well, I think that was a one-time, like, just, hey, I challenge an open challenge, and then obviously because Keith Lee hasn't been there in a while, it's like, hey, what way can we reintroduce Keith Lee? Oh, hey, just open challenge from the champ, and I mean, which is okay, but it's
Right.
like, if you want to build momentum, do it on somebody that's not the champ and make him lose.
Right, right.
Like he could go against Omos. Once AJ and Omos split and blah blah blah. Because
Well, even if they're still together, they can have a singles match and then
Well-
AJ be on the corner and like do stuff like that. But
yeah, but then it just makes it like
Yeah,
well,
muddies.
it's AJ versus Keith Lee. Instead of, and it's just like, oh, here, almost take care of my dirty work. That's what it makes me feel like whenever
Right.
there's stuff like that. Because AJ was already a legitimate star. He just happened to bring Omos in to, as his bodyguard, big dude, and
Right.
they win the titles and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But if he's gonna face Omos, he needs to do it when Omos makes credibility for himself, like beating up AJ and going his own path.
Right,
And
right.
down the line, that's whenever Keith Lee and him should face off.
Right, right. And Queen J, what were your thoughts on Keith Lee coming back, and or
Now
other
that you
stuff?
know.
Yeah. Sorry, we're spoiling stuff for you.
Now that you know that
Right.
he came back, what are your thoughts? But she might be busy, so hold on.
Yeah.
Anyway, for
But
me,
yeah.
like, I didn't get to see Raw, but I heard Goldberg came back, and instantly when I heard him come back, I was just like, again. And then when
Right.
he's challenging Bobby, I'm like, huh, okay. Hopefully.
That's
No.
it. Oh,
Sorry.
I'm glad. This is the way you just hopefully.
Yeah. Well, because my girl came home, so she
Yeah, I
opened the
got
door
you.
and said, I'm home. So I was just like, oh.
I'm
But
here.
no, yeah, I'm not here. If she would have did that and turned off the light, it would have been perfect. Too bad she's not a
Right.
wrestling fan. 'Cause that would've been great. But that's
Right.
I mean, she is, but she isn't. She's like the older, like she used to watch it when she was a kid, but not
Right.
anymore. Unless I'm watching it, then she'll watch it.
Right, she'll
she
watch
can
it in the
Randy
same room.
Yeah, but no, like when I saw Goldberg come back, I was like, ah, man, hopefully Bobby goes over and wins. Like he legit, instead of like Goldberg, doing what Bobby did to Kofi. I hope Goldberg doesn't do that to Bobby. And I
Right.
hope, I mean, granted, they're both big guys, so it's another, it's kind of like the Brock versus Goldberg. It's going to be Bobby versus Goldberg, so two big guys. And it's
Right.
spear versus spear.
Mm-hmm.
in a way. But like personally, I think that now that Goldberg came back just for that, I
Mm-hmm.
hope and I like not necessarily pray, but I
Right.
hope and I'm begging for WWE to be just like, you know what? Goldberg may be a top tier money making thing, but he's
Mm,
not. He is not. Not with fans like us.
right.
He's not.
Yeah.
We shit on him because he comes back after, months of being gone, years of being gone, just
Mm,
to get it, just to all of a sudden, hey, I'm challenging for your title.
right.
Oh, okay. So hopefully Bobby takes the win on that whenever
Mm,
that match does actually go down. And
right.
hopefully MVP doesn't cost him that
Right.
match.
No kidding.
Even though,
And
yes, if he does, it's again Bobby versus MVP, and MVP doesn't get his moment to shine. Because I think with MVP, I don't think he's been the world champion, has he?
no,
I don't remember. Not that I can remember.
no, he's always been U.S. champ twice, I believe.
Yeah, tag
And
champs.
yeah, tag champs with Matt Hardy, and I think a couple more championships within there
Okay,
too.
well, I
But
think if now that he's like made himself outside of WWE, made himself a main event player,
mm,
I think now could be a good time for like, okay, if he does interfere, but Bobby wins,
mm,
like, hey, you interfered, what the hell are you doing? And then,
right.
Bobby ends up still winning because, hey, I mean, it can happen that way.
Mm.
Because that would be a weird, like, I don't know if that ever does happen, where it's like, um, the person that got distracted.
Mm,
I mean, well, it has, but not like in that kind of situation where they've been distracted.
mm,
They're, you know, they get hit with a finisher and then they kick out
mm,
instead of reversing a finisher and then winning with a roll up or
mm.
whatever. Because I think, yeah, I know the people that have where they get distracted and then they still win.
Yeah.
Anyway, MVP should win at least one main event championship, not or like the main heavyweight championship.
You
I
think they
think
would
MVP.
give that to him though? At
I
this
mean, why
time,
not?
is
Why
that's true.
not?
All right.
I mean, he deserves it. Like MVP gave a good amount of like he's got a great talent. Yeah,
Mm,
he's more of a talker and a good role for manager.
mm,
But why not? Why not give it to him? And then Big E could come out instead of like because the whole swerve thing where
mm.
because technically Big E can go for any title.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I,
Yeah,
w-
you
I would
sure right.
assume that
Yeah.
that's what that means that he
Mm,
can go for any title.
mm.
MVP wins, Big E wins. Hey, win-win.
Right.
Like MVP gets to finally have his moment. Granted, it's being taken away by Big E, but it still brings that factor of Bobby got beat by MVP, which
mm,
then Big E gets his moment to shine and
mm,
wins the big one. So it's a win-win to me.
mm. So true. So true.
Now, I'm not sure if Queen J is just holding on while we talk, but if she's available to talk, you
Right.
asked her about her thoughts on. Oh man,
It was shoot on I think it
Keith
was
Lee coming back. Keith
yes,
Lee
yes,
coming
thank
back.
you. Yeah, so Queen J, if you're still here, hopefully with us. you know,
Yeah, it just says she's muted, so
yeah,
she might still be busy, which is okay.
yeah.
Whenever you're ready, you come back in the chat. We'll keep talking. Oh, there she is.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I said mute because I have a little noise going in my background, but
That's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
just to piggyback off of Keith Lee,
Mm,
definitely he's a extraordinary wrestler. Um, I definitely want to see him with the championship. He could be the one to get it from Bobby Lashley. You never know. Uh,
true.
I just
True.
have to see
Mm-hmm.
him, so I can't speak too much on him, but I know who he is though. So maybe we'll see a storyline soon later. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Bobby Lashley have a match.
Right.
Yeah, a real for the title match. Yeah, because I know that he had that little match on Raw, but that was basically to kind of give Goldberg that opportunity to come out, which it steals away from. Okay, cool. Okay, what is it? Cherry Coke slush. Okay, sorry guys.
No, you're fine.
Anyway, Keith Lee returning shouldn't have been downgraded by Goldberg returning.
Right.
Like it again, WWE's Vince McMahon himself. It's Vince, really, it's Vince. It's not it's not WWE, it's just Vince is the one that keeps pulling the strings. And I mean, when he dies, I wonder for me, I wonder who he's actually not, I know he's gonna give it to his kids, but I wonder who's he in his will writing down, I want these guys as my writers. I want these guys as specific people because they know how I like it.
Right. I feel like they might do that.
Yeah, I mean, if he does do that, it's like, oh, well, WWE's going to be in the shithole even after he's gone.
Well,
but, man, just taken away from Keith Lee by bringing Goldberg is it. I don't like that. Like, why? Why do you take stars that could be mega stars and overlap them with returns from guys that we don't want to see?
Right.
But anyway,
but yeah,
I can rant about that all day.
We all could, really. We all could. Yes. I'm trying to remember another kind of noteworthy thing that happened on Raw before we kind of wrap things up here. Is there
probably nothing?
Well, Killer Cross, whom is the NXT champion now, popped up on Raw to face Jeff Hardy, who got his old music back. No More Words. His old from back in 2008, I think it was. Whenever he had his own music.
Was just him. Yeah. It was, now the loss.
Yeah, the Lost. I don't know where that was, where they got the idea to do that.
Yeah, because first off, it's a debut on the main roster.
NXT champion too.
NXT champion debuts on the main roster and loses.
With the roll up.
Yeah. Was there any interference of that match, or just straight up he just rolled him up and said, "Hey"?
It was. He rolled him up and got his feet on the rope, so he did a cheating thing to win.
Oh, Jeff Hardy did the cheating thing to win.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It was another bullshit. Style.
Which in turn got Killer Cross angry, which I think he's going to go after Jeff. Which in NXT on Tuesday, he basically painted this thing that he was going to do whatever he wanted to do. So that's how he popped up on Raw. And so on and so forth, because he attacked William Regal as well on Tuesday. So he's
I saw him attack Samoa Joe and choke him out. I saw him do that, or I saw the highlights for that and stuff. But I mean, to be honest, man, again, it goes back to shitting on their superstars that they could easily have built up. Like Jeff Hardy, why did Jeff Hardy need that win?
He didn't.
Why?
Really?
Why did he? Yeah, he didn't. It does nothing for Jeff Hardy because, I mean, granted, Killer Cross is somebody that you shouldn't mess with, but he didn't need that win, especially like that.
Right.
So it's like. Anyway, continue. You go ahead.
But no, you're fine. Queen J, what were your thoughts? I remember you saying you didn't really see much of Raw, but have you seen much of Killer Cross, and what do you think of this quick loss? I mean, just a surprise loss to Jeff Hardy.
I haven't watched much. Otherwise, I got to start getting some more of the. Just not the same people that I like to watch. did say he lost to Jeff Hardy. You know what? I think that I would prefer seeing Jeff Hardy in another wrestling, but not WWE. If that makes sense. I don't. I don't. I don't think he really has a purpose. Serves a purpose anymore.
Right.
In WWE.
No.
So you think he could go like to Impact or something, or?
Yeah, Impact, not AEW. He goes good on Impact. Because I actually like Impact. I just don't get to catch it like I want to because it's on Twitch.
Right.
But I do have to account, but I just don't get to catch it. But yeah, I would prefer to see him on Impact, but I don't think, I just don't care to watch him on WWE no more. So.
Right. Got you.
Well, I know that for like the Hardy Boys, Matt has said that he wants to finish out like his actual career with his brother as the Hardy Boys and finish that way, which would be cool.
Right.
I know that. Yeah, I kind of like. I do kind of agree with Queen J that Jeff should not go to AEW and instead go to Impact, because I mean he's already like when he first debuted in Impact. Oh man, I actually got to see that whenever he faced AJ, and I was like, whoa, because it was on Fox Sports Network at the time, and I was just like, whoa, Jeff Hardy's here! Oh my god! Like him coming back and like, or being able to like, if Bray were to come back as the Fiend and have him go up against Jeff as Willow, like bring back Willow, like man, Willow the Wisp was a great character that Jeff Hardy does, and I mean, granted, you can't do the Weed Man or whatever he calls other. You can't do the Weed Whacker Man, whatever it is. Itchweed.
Yeah,
you can't do Itchweed.
Yeah.
You could do it on Impact probably, but not on WWE.
Right.
But Willow, I enjoyed like looking at different things on the Hardy Boys YouTube channel and watching him be Willow, and oh man, and then him donning like I even have a mask of Willow around my room somewhere. And like, because Willow was a great character. Like if he were to adapt to like something like that, or just not necessarily reinvent himself, but definitely leave WWE and come back to Impact, as because just like Christian did, just like when they like everybody that went to excuse me, so sorry. Went to Impact back then. It was like he was great. Like bring back that old championship that he had for TNA. Like that championship was really cool. Like if he were to be that, granted he was on drugs to make that heel character look so awesome. Bring that back. Something that because WWE only sees Jeff Hardy as the super white meat baby face that he was doing the stunts and all the
eccentric
spot monkey stuff. Yeah, that's all they see him as.
Artist.
Good. Yeah, they only see him as a good person. Like make him heel. If you're gonna keep him there forever, make him heel.
At least once. At least.
Yeah. Make him heel. Make him like with that roll up. It was what it was.
Right.
But make him heel. So, are we losing audio with Queen J? I saw her come on, and then it said connecting to audio.
Yeah, and she Queen J is still with us?
She might. Well, she says she's on mute still, so we'll see in a little bit. But anyway, like I don't know, like turn him heel. Like with that roll up, that could be the perfect like start to him becoming a heel. I think they need to make him heel, or like let him do stuff.
Something different. Okay. Okay, no problem. Just had to make sure.
So, yeah, give him something different than just that typical like what the. Yes, I mean, granted, it's great to have Jeff Hardy and see him still wrestling, but he's really not doing anything.
Right.
I mean, he had the Hardy the Bros. Instead of the Hardy Boys, it was the Hardy Bros. But
Yeah, I actually thought they were
just-
gonna go for that instead of what they are
Those
doing
two
now.
stoners.
So.
There's just two stoners just kind of hanging out.
Right.
That's all it really was. Or I don't know if he's a stoner, but or Matt Riddle. I don't know if he's a stoner, but I just know do something different with Jeff. Let him leave the company, and even if he does turn up in AEW, it's not a big issue. But that would be the typical thing, and let
Right.
him go. Let him go back to Impact, and granted, Impact doesn't really need that many like older stars to build up the
Right.
company, but to I don't know, something just because I don't watch Impact very much.
Right.
I do see stuff like I know that I don't know, like we talked earlier about this that Chris Bay apparently joined the Bullet Club, but I don't
Yes.
know how. I don't know, like
Yeah,
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, there's some still shots of something with Jay White holding his hand up. So
Yeah, and he's
I
got
don't
the
know.
Bullet Club on his like in between his, kind of like the shirt where Dolph Ziggler has his belt.
Yeah.
It covers his crotch, so it has the belt. And he's just like, yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, oh. And I also saw a video of him going back, like Chris Bay going back to his locker room, and I forget the dude's name. He's that Rashash something. I don't know what his name is. I can't even pronounce it, no matter how many times I try. But he's like, they like I was watching it in the break room today at work while I was taking my break, so I didn't have the volume up. But he was like, they had a little confrontation. They said, "Get out of my room, take a t-shirt. This is not my t-shirt." And he holds it up, and it's like Bullet Club. And I was like, oh.
Oh wow.
And then I saw the still shots of Jay White holding up Chris Bay's hands, like, yeah. So I was like, he's in Bullet Club. So I don't know. I personally, I know that the forbidden doors are being opened with every other company except for WWE, because
Pretty much.
WWE doesn't want to do that, which
Nope.
makes it great for all the other companies, because that could, if they all continue to come together, put all their money together with all these superstars, could potentially kill WWE if
I don't
they
know if
think
it'd
about it.
kill it, but
Oh,
it
no,
could. But I don't know if
No,
it
it
would.
will kill it. It would kill it. Me personally, it would kill it. Why? Because they've got superstars that they build up to be champions. No matter, it's not the same old champion every single time. Like, oh, John Cena carried the company on his back. You can't. I mean, AJ carried TNA up until Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff era. Then it was just chaos from there. But AJ, yes, AJ was the face of the company and he carried the company on his back. But they had so many more superstars that were just as great as AJ, building
Stacked.
TNA.
Stacked roster.
And, yes, and they could have all been TNA champ until the whole
stuff happened.
Eric Bischoff and blah blah blah. But now, I mean, like I said, you got AEW that's got their full stack of roster of phenomenal wrestlers that could, any one of those guys could be champion. You got Impact with any one of those wrestlers that could be the main champion. NWA, who's got a plethora of champions, chip material. Who else? New Japan is merging in there, which is crazy. So it's like,
I mean, they've always been doing stuff with American
true,
companies and this and that, but
true.
nothing to
Like-
nothing to disagree though. Degree,
yeah,
I should say.
they've brought in Jay White. They've brought in, like, they're bringing in more and more, like Finn Juice and all that stuff to Impact. And granted, Impact and them have been doing deals forever, but like the simple fact that New Japan, I want to see Gorillas of Destiny come out. I want to see them come to, whether it's AEW or Impact, I don't care. I want them to show their face, because Tama Tonga has been so adamant about, like, fuck you, Carl Anderson, fuck you, Doc Gallows, fuck you, Young Bucks. Like he's giving the finger to every single one of the old Bullet Club people. He's like AJ and everybody in WWE, they're cool. All the AEW Impact guys, nah, fuck you.
Right.
And he even said, he was like, yo, talk to me, WWE. Like when AEW was like, hey, we've opened the Forbidden Door, and Tama Tonga's like, hey, no, WWE, come open the Forbidden Door with us. The God, Gorillas of Destiny, come on, open.
Right. The stuff they could have with the Gorillas of Destiny and things like that is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Because I love New Japan. Granted, I wish I could see it more, but what can you do?
Right. And a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, but most of it is, in fact, I shouldn't say most of it. A good chunk of it doesn't have English commentary, so that sometimes...
I was just like, they don't. I was just saying true, sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I was just making sure you didn't, like, I wasn't talking over you.
You're good. I was talking over you.
But yeah, it basically just a lot of times it'll have, like, most of their bigger shows will have the English commentary on there, but they'll also have, like, other, like, kind of basically in between shows that won't have, like, the commentary on there. So you'll just hear the Japanese commentary and just watch that and watch the wrestling.
I need
and
to
stuff.
learn Japanese then.
Right. I mean, I've like you can learn like phrases and things like that, but that's about it. That's that. But yeah, unfortunately, we have to cut it off right about here. So, Queen J, do you have any thing you would like to plug before we go?
Yeah, plug everything away. Do the shameless plugs. I always do the shameless plugs. Today I didn't really do it because I don't have my shirt, but we got merch. Woo!
Well, yes. First of all, let me just say before I start plugging it was a pleasure to come to the show. Definitely enjoyed it, and definitely want to just tell you guys to keep doing what you're doing a great job. Definitely looking forward to being on more and hearing more shows. So listen, I want everyone to make sure that y'all are following me on. I actually have 3 pages. Main page is amazing_J2698 on Twitter. That page has a variety of different people on there. So, it's different things. Everybody on there don't like wrestling or whatever. So I recently, a couple weeks ago, I made a sports-only page, sports and TV show-only page. Business and sports. I wanted to connect more WWE fans and, wrestling fans in general. Because, like I said, following a bunch of people, you can't always see wrestling tweets. So I made that page to be, see more of the wrestling tweets. So that page is _wrestling forum. Make sure y'all follow that. If you're not a wrestling fan, don't even bother following. Y'all can follow Bad Girl. And I'll make sure I say it right because I'll get fussed at later. Bad Girl, Good Girl. Well, this is how it is on Twitter. It's Bad Girl, Good GR8. Please don't ask me why. It wouldn't let me put the L. I'm gonna try to fix that tonight, but
that's no problem. I'll plug everything in the description and everything in the comments.
Yeah, but I don't know why they wouldn't let me put the L, but it's Bad Girl, Good GR number 8. Y'all can follow that. That's a show between me and myself. And at 1991. Shout out to her. With also Keita, and of course our newest member, Daphne. She also has a podcast. I'll probably tweet the link because I can't remember the full name of it right now, but I think it's In Your House podcast. I gotta look at the link, but she also has a podcast, and I will tag y'all and tweet the link or whatever. But she's our new co-host. We're definitely happy to have her. Also, y'all can follow my personal. I can't forget my personal podcast.
Right.
It's what y'all heard these wonderful guys will say earlier. blogtalkradio.com/QueenJ256. My shows are just everywhere. You never know what I'm going to talk about. I do have some guests that are waiting to come on. You just got to get the dates together. I've been doing birthday episodes every month. Just certain people have birthday that they send me their birthday and stuff. different things that I discuss on my show. And of course, wrestling has to be a part of it. For y'all listeners out there who like wrestling, any ladies who want to come on the SummerSlam panel, I'm doing an all women SummerSlam panel. No offense to the men, but I'm just doing an all women panel.
Right.
I'm doing an all women SummerSlam panel. It's going to be produced by my show, but it's actually good. It's by Good Girl Bag Girl Good Girl show, but it's going to be done on Blog Talk. You know, I'm going to be doing the post and everything. So,
okay, cool.
Any women out there that want to come on the SummerSlam panel, I'm going to try not to have 7 people. I'm going to try. But I just that have so many good things to say and stuff. But definitely want to tell y'all about the men takeover. I don't know who all can come. I don't know the exact date, and I haven't really planned everything, but I can say that it's going to be something that will be happening on Bad Girl, Good Girl show. We do have a website. Oh, I think it's Keita and Jay. I gotta look at it, man. I'm so sorry. I should have.
That's okay.
I will tweet it with y'all. We do have a website with We Talk NXT, Keita and Jay show. I think Chris and Keita do We Talk NXT. Her and Jay do Keita and Jay show. And of course, me, her, and now Daphne. We all do Bad Girl, Good Girl show. They also have shirts on the website. We're also working on some shirts for the Bad Girl, Good Girl show and other things I'm working on for the men as well.
Nice.
Because I'm working on it. So, once we get everything together, but I do know they have Keita and Jay shirts ready on the website. So I will tweet that out if y'all get a chance, if y'all would like. They do have where you can leave voicemail on the Keita and Jay show website. Just leave a voicemail, you can say anything you want to say or whatever. So I will be tweeting that out once I get a chance. I'll tweet it out as well. So
awesome.
I think that's about it.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again for coming on the show.
I'm gonna have to practice my female voice so I can get on that all-female SummerSlam.
Right.
Only kidding. No.
I guess because Bad Girl, Good Girl show is, just ladies always be on that one. Because I've been against Keita and Jay show more than one time as well. But I was telling her, I said, we need to do a men takeover.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But then the men, they just take over. They can be bad. Because I'm always the bad girl. Keita's always the girl. So, yeah.
I think that's about me too. I'm the bad boy and he's the good boy.
Pretty much.
Right.
Pretty much.
So.
But,
I want y'all to say for y'all listeners out there, please support this podcast that y'all currently listen to. I am very proud. They did a show. Like I said, I was shocked. I didn't know, because every time I talk to Nate, Nate always would say, I'm kind of nervous. And I said, no, there's nothing to be nervous about. Just be yourself. So when you told me I had a show, I said, oh my goodness, I definitely got to listen, because I did not know.
I told him the same thing.
Yeah, you did.
Right. Hopefully I have good input, but he just told me, be nervous. I'm like, I can't tell. When you come on my show, I can't say you just go right with the flow.
Yeah.
So, y'all doing good. I think this is good. Y'all really do good. Y'all need this.
Yes, we did. It's for fun.
So. Yes. Yes, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. I'm still trying to grow my stuff. I still, everybody has to start from somewhere, but most definitely, I'm a person that loves to promote things. So when you need me to do something, I'm trying to get another episode. I did an episode a year ago where I was just like promoting stuff for people. It ain't about no money. I was just trying to get the word out there about people's stuff. So I'm the person that will promote. You already see I promote my stuff a Bad Girl, Good Girl show all the time. So keep it like, I'm gonna just leave that to you. That promoting, you do that. So.
And I guess out of us two, I would be he does a lot of promoting on Twitter and stuff, but I'm like the more vocal, like I'm talking to people and she's like, yo, come check us out.
Right.
Right.
He's more of like the Twitter, like tweeting out all the different stuff and
right.
But yeah, we'll definitely tweet y'all stuff out, and we're gonna give support where we get support, because that's how we roll.
Right.
Right.
We just like to support other folks, basically. But
Yeah, I think y'all on Twitch, I see y'all stream on Twitch, and Twitch has a lot of people. So you already got people that be on there doing all kind of stuff, video games, all kind of stuff of that. So I know the views, listeners, the people are gonna come. So
Yes, they will. I'm excited for it.
Right, got it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, I'm sorry. No, well, it has been a great time. I thank you so much. I'll have to end off the stream, but thank you everyone for coming. We'll have to end the stream off now, but we will see y'all later.